Hi, this is Angela Duckworth, and I'm recording this video to say hello to the faculty of schools involved in the Character Growth Card 2.0 project. Usually our lab likes to make in-person presentations, but since there are over a dozen schools across the country for this year's work, we're sending you this very quick video instead. I just want to say thank you to the faculty and give you a quick overview of our plan. Where this project differs from what we've done in the prior academic year are in the following ways. So one is that we took items on the character growth card that was originally developed and piloted in the Riverdale Country School and in KIPS charter schools, and we just slightly changed the wording, particularly taking items that weren't correlating well with other items and with outcomes, and dropping those, and also changing the wording of items that we thought would make them easier to understand and more intuitive for both the children and then also for their teachers, for you. Second thing that we're doing this year is we're trying to design a growth card that would be short enough that teachers could actually answer it every quarter for kids, so that the kids can get feedback on their strengths, ideally more than once a year or more than twice a year. At this point, 4 times a year, and maybe in the future we'll figure out how to make it so efficient that kids can get feedback even more frequently than that. In terms of the feedback, we haven't quite figured out how we're going to be able to present the data to kids, and we're going to be piloting a subset of the schools in this project, report formats that really emphasize growth and change, consistent with Carol Dweck's work on growth mindset. We don't want these kids to think that their character skills are fixed, but rather the things that they can practice and grow. And the second thing is we want to incorporate some of the best understanding of goal setting and planning. So trying to get kids to get this information and then immediately make a goal for how they would like to improve, and then make a plan to achieve that goal. So that work actually may extend into the following academic year. We're not sure, what our resources are and how much we can deliver on that, but at least in a subset of schools, we're going to just begin to pilot reporting. For many schools, we won't be able to provide reports until the next academic year. Another change from what we had done last year is I really do want students to actually start answering the same questions that their teachers do, so that we can begin to scaffold metacognition, so that kids can not only say, oh, this is what my history and my math teacher think about me, but what do I think about me? And then how do I reconcile when there's a disparity, or what does it mean when we agree? We are looking at 3 kinds of character skills. One is social character skills, and these include interpersonal self-control, gratitude, and social intelligence. Intellectual or engagement character skills, and these include the skills of zest and curiosity. And then achievement character skills, so self-control in work situations, grit, and also optimism or growth mindset as the third facet of achievement character. As part of the work, we're trying to see whether any of these skills really do predict important student outcomes. We want to look at academic work, which is why we're working with your school liaison. We have a primary school contact at each school who will help us get grade, point average, behavior ratings if there are any collected at your school, and attendance. Psychological variables that the kids are going to report on themselves. These include general life satisfaction, positive emotion. We want to know how much negative emotion they're feeling. Hopefully they're feeling fewer negative emotions. And then their own feelings of how engaged and happy they are in their school. And then physical health, ideally actually things like height and weight that we can calculate, body mass index scores, so BMI scores, but really trying to look at the physical aspect of well-being as well as the psychological. And then finally social outcomes, like how many students rate that kid, nominate that student as somebody that they spend a lot of time with. So measures of peer acceptance, positive social relations, and sense of social belonging. The timeline for data collection will be quarterly. So one thing that we've had to ask schools involved in this project, but just because of the sheer number of schools and you're really all over the country, everything from the West Coast to the East Coast, is that we have to stay to a pretty consistent timeline. So it's a quarterly data collection. At the end of every marking period, we're going to be asking for the teacher ratings data to be sent to us in a nice formats that we can just merge the data when they gets here all together. And then the student data, we're going to be doing all the student questionnaires through online links that the students will have to actually fill these things out again at the end of each marking period. And finally, I'll just say that our lab is staffed with some former teachers. We've got some young people. We've got really kind of a very diverse lab, and we're really looking forward to learning about how we can serve you better. So please don't hesitate to contact Sarah Patrick, who is the lead coordinator on this. If you have any direct concerns, you can feel free to email me at angela.duckworth@gmail.com. My inbox gets a little full, so it's always good to CC Sarah to make sure that things don't get lost. But I'll just end with gratitude. Thank you so much for your involvement in this project.